Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dawn Mountain. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I see you're not Indy 500 fans, even though maybe delayed by weather anyway. My name is Jason Cox. I'm a student here at Dawn Mountain. I've been coming for over a decade. Very attracted to our primary teachers, Lamas Rigzin and Namyal. Anne and Harvey, as we affectionately call them also. Anne is a professor at Rice University in Buddhist Studies, and Harvey is a practicing psychiatrist. And they're both intimately familiar with Tibetan Buddhism. They both speak Tibetan. They've been to India to study. Our primary teacher in Tibet, Adzam Rinpoche, has also provided part of the practice that we'll be doing this morning in our meditation. And our basic order of operations today is that we'll be alternating a meditation where we'll focus on the breathing, on the breath, and another where we will be chanting the syllable hung. In one breath, we'll chant the syllable hung twice. So it'll sound something like this. Hung, hung, something like this. And we'll do that at our own pace. Each of these sessions will alternate between, maybe 3 and 4 minutes. In the middle, we'll read a short chapter from Pema Chodron's book, Comfortable with Uncertainty. These are all little one-page chapters that cover all kinds of topics. We'll close with some more meditation and also the closing prayers. And we'll finish with reciting the syllable ah together, and anyone online will unmute for that too also, if we have some company. Okay, so we'll start with aspirational prayers. You've got some sheets there, and we'll also be putting it on the big screen here. It's the first lines on that sheet as well into Shantideva. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. Take a moment to settle into your seat. I want to be balanced and comfortable. I want to sit straight but not stiff. I want to feel the support you have coming from your seat and through that from the whole earth itself. You're sitting atop the very center of the earth. It's not your only strong support. You also have your whole skeletal structure that's holding you up. You can imagine as if a string is lifting your head, keeping your spine aligned, but again relaxed. And you can also feel or imagine a channel of energy right in front of your spine. It runs through your whole body from your base through the top of your head. That channel of energy is also providing you support. And thus secure, turn your attention to your breath. We don't want to think about the breath, we want to feel the breath. We want to feel what it's like to breathe. You can focus either at the tip of your nose or the way your chest compresses and expands, or the way it feels in your belly as it comes in and out. But pick a spot, whatever feels right. We'll just focus on feeling, on being in the body, on being with the breath for a few minutes. When your mind wanders, it's all right. Just gently bring your attention back to that same point. Same point of your breath. Go back to your seat. Bring your attention back to your breath. What's it like to breathe in? Is the air warmer or colder than when you breathe out? How does it feel? I want to stretch a little bit. Okay. Today we are reading again from Comfortable with Uncertainty, and we'll be on chapter 51 called Deepening Tonglen. And Tonglen is a practice we've talked about a few times over the last few weeks. It's the Tibetan phrase for giving and receiving. And the idea is to take in the suffering of the world and to give out to it joy. So taking and receiving. So deepening this practice. In Tonglen, after genuinely connecting with the pain and your ability to open up and let go, then take the practice a step further and do it for all sentient beings. This is a key point about Tonglen. Your own experience of pleasure and pain become the way that you recognize your kinship with all sentient beings. Practicing Tonglen is the way you can share in the joy and the sorrow of everyone who's ever lived, everyone who's living now, and everyone who will ever live. Whatever discomfort you feel becomes useful. I'm miserable. I'm depressed. Okay, let me feel it fully so that no one else has to feel it, so that others could be free from it. This starts to awaken your heart because you have this aspiration to say, this pain can be of benefit to others because I can be courageous enough to feel it fully, so no one else has to. The joy that you feel, the sense of being able to open up and let go, also becomes a way you connect with others. On the out-breath, you say, let me give away anything good or true that I ever feel, any sense of humor, any sense of enjoying the sun coming up and down, any sense of delight in the world at all, so that everyone else may share in this and feel it. If you are willing, even for 1 second a day, to make an aspiration to use your own pain and pleasure to help others, we are actually able to do it that much more. We can do this practice in any situation. Start with yourself. You can extend the practice to situations in which compassion spontaneously arises, exchanging yourself for someone you want to help. Then you move on to a slightly more difficult area, one in which compassion is not necessarily your first response. So Pema Chodron here spends a little time reminding us of how to, on the in-breath, take in all the kind of discomfort that you might be feeling and taking that on yourself and saying, that's okay, I know this is how I feel. We don't have to run away from it. We don't have to suppress it. We just have to experience it. And we can actually create some courage out of that to take on those sorts of feelings. And likewise, sharing all of the joyful and true things we feel with the world. She points out that if we can just make the aspiration to do this sort of thing for just a second a day, then we have a much better chance of actually doing it in our lives. We don't have to start by waking up as saints. We can just have the intention, and that is going to give us a lot of power down the road to bring it into our lives further. She also says to start out with yourself, because of course we're most intimate with our own pain and suffering. That's the one we know all about. But of course we also have family and friends who we're very easily empathize with. So they're a natural next step. And she says, eventually move on to something slightly more difficult. Okay, so maybe that's a more difficult person. Maybe it's someone you actually don't enjoy being in their company. But maybe that's a person who you can also cultivate a hope that they are happy, that they're enjoying things as the same sorts of things you want to enjoy, and understand that even though they might be a difficult person, they also suffer in the same way you do. Or it might be a more difficult emotional area. Last week there was a focus on difficult emotions like jealousy, resentment, self-loathing. These are emotions that we tend, because they're so intense, we experience them so intensely. So we're more likely to simply act in our habitual way, however it is we deal with them, whether we, justify ourselves for what we've done or how we feel, or whether we want to blame ourselves or blame someone else. Instead of getting in that habitual pattern, if we have some mindfulness about it and some awareness, then maybe our reaction there can also be one that takes on suffering for the benefit of all and shares in joy for the benefit of all. So that's what struck me. I just wanted to open it up if anyone wanted to talk about, we've been through Tonglen. If anyone's had any practice with it, whether it's here or, first Sundays or anything, happy to hear from anyone.
So what comes to mind for me this week is actually a little bit more mundane, but I think it's really hitting me today because the tornadoes that just came through Houston. I had to do a lot of work outside in nature sanctuaries too. That was very uncomfortable. Lots of mosquitoes, heat, pain, exhaustion, all that kind of stuff. But it's so that then people can enjoy the nature sanctuary. So if you think about that in the terms of Tonglen, I'm spending time in this deeply, uncomfortable stuff that people, if I wasn't there, would have to do to get those trees out of the way, to go back and enjoy nature. But in spending my work as Tonglen, thinking about it as, okay, I'm going to take on these negatives or this pressure that people would otherwise have to do on their own to enjoy the sanctuary, I can do that for them and then give them this beautiful space back that they can then enjoy and have relaxation from. And I think about even more mundane, it's as simple as people organizing the grocery store for you. Like if you had to go to the grocery store and nobody was organizing it, you'd have all this pain and suffering of like, where is the milk? And it would be really uncomfortable and waste a lot of time. And you wouldn't get the benefit of, maybe you'd never find the milk. But because somebody got up early on a Sunday to go put that milk where it's supposed to be, now you can enjoy the benefit of walking into the store and just getting milk. So today it really seems like if you take all the capitalism out of it, this thing we call work that we do for each other is Tonglen, taking on a little bit of stress, a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort so that somebody else's day could be that much easier. So.
Yeah, that's not mundane at all, I think. I think you've really shown how it's not just theoretical or about sitting here, it's about what we're doing every day, too.
Take a gander. So I live with and around, people that have PTSD and other things. So I've actually, didn't know the word for it, but I guess I'd been engaged in Tonglen for a great number of years now without having realized it, where there's a very important element to maintain a certain level of composure, but also a true level of listening to another person who is very deeply in the grips of these past things. And, and of course, breathing out is not just breath, but also right speech of encouragement to them to help bring a greater joy to both them and I. And so Tong Lin. Now I have a word for it. I like that. And, blessings to all the people who have difficult people in their lives that they are studiously supporting in their own way.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's so true. Like, I don't know. I just feel like even when I go home for a big holiday and the whole family is together, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of holding people and being held by people too. So yeah, a lot of giving and receiving. Yeah, please.
In the spirit of this practice and actually being on the other side of the camera, it is actually wonderful to set up that for you. So to be like the worker bee on that part, it's just as much love on my end as it is for y'all to receive it. So I guess in that way, it's a little reversed because we set up this place for y'all and we put a lot of time, effort, dedication to it. And it's wonderful on our end to see you guys come and appreciate it. I guess it's kind of like the flipped way of looking at it, but it still is the same concept.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of gratitude here today. Okay. Let's settle back in for a seat. We'll close with a little more meditation before we go to the prayers. Find a center, relaxed, and focus on the breath someplace. Om. Sorry, we'll do the closing prayers here. I'll start with sharing the merit. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. This is for the other program, sorry. Skip over. Yeah, blessing. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise born forth in one enlightened mandala. And today we pray for all sentient beings, and especially for Bobby and Melissa, Toby and the Bardo, Camachos, Andrew, Beata, Luis, Gina, Farzana, Maududi, Junebug, Brianna, Omar, Gustavo, Shirley T, Aston Oyano, Daniel Oyano, Mario Q, Marana, Jose, Aaron, Angel, Adrian, Emily's Carr, Sylvia Rolando, Nathaniel Emanoa, Leah Ed, Penny.
And one from the chat, Mary Love and Bardo.
Mary Love and the Bardo. We'll all join in for a common ah. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time. And have fun. It's Sunday. And you don't work tomorrow, hopefully.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah, that's right.